All right, so let's start this broadcast with the big story that is, of course, taking place in Tokyo, where the American President Joe Biden is in Tokyo for the second leg of his Asia visit, where he's attending a host of key meetings with allies, including the Quad Summit that will take place tomorrow. In a bid to boost the U.S. strategic presence in the Indo-Pacific aimed at countering the increasing belligerence by the Chinese in the region, the Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida welcomed the American President Joe Biden to the country in a very special ceremony at the Akasaka Palace. So this, of course, was the grand welcome ceremony of the American President Joe Biden in Tokyo, where the anthems of both nations were played, following which the two leaders also held a bilateral meeting. Both leaders confirmed that there has not been any change in the stand with regards to Taiwan, while Fumio Kishida said the talks were underscored by the importance of peace and has called for the peaceful resolution of the cross-strait issues. The American president confirmed that America will actually help defend Taiwan from Chinese invasion, adding that China is actually flirting with danger over Taiwan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister.
Are you willing to get involved militarily to defend Taiwan if it comes to that?
We agree with a one China policy. We've signed on to it and all the attendant agreements made from there. But the idea that it can be taken by force, just taken by force, is just not appropriate. It will dislocate the entire region and be another action similar to what happened in Ukraine.
But also Prime Minister Kishida confirmed that the two countries will monitor the Chinese naval movements as well as China-Russia joint military exercises. He also condemned attempts to change the status quo by force in the East China Sea and South China Sea, and confirmed that the two countries remain very committed to ensuring a free and open Indo-Pacific. While the US President also reinstated the American commitment to Japan's defense and endorsed Japan's plans to expand its military capabilities.
中国については、最近の中国海軍の活動や中ロ両国による共同軍事演習などの動向を注視するとともに、東シナ海や南シナ海における力を背景とした現状変更の試みに強く反対すること、そして人権問題を含めた中国をめぐる諸課題への対応にあたり、引き続き日米で緊密に連携していくことなどで一致いたしました。
Now, the two leaders also spoke about the ongoing Ukraine-Russia conflict. Biden said that the Russian President Vladimir Putin must be held accountable for the war crimes committed in Ukraine, adding that Moscow must pay long-term price for the invasion into Ukraine. In a strong statement, Prime Minister Kishida also said that the powers in no way can allow for a change of status quo by force in any part of the world. Now, tomorrow, the American President Joe Biden will be attending the all-important Quad meeting, along with leaders from the other member nations of the Quad, that is India, Japan and Australia, before departing back to the United States. And earlier we spoke with Professor D.J. Brown, who's an Associate Professor of Political Science at the Temple University. And this is what he had to say about the bilateral meeting that was held between Joe Biden and Fumio Kishida, and also about the all-important Quad Summit that is to take place tomorrow.
The Quad Summit, I think the emphasis is definitely going to be that this is an active and reanimated grouping of countries. Earlier this year, there were some concerns that the Quad might be somewhat at risk. And the reason for this is that clearly there wasn't agreement on the issue of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, with India taking rather a different stance. So I think one of the priorities for the Japanese hosts is to demonstrate that despite those differences, when it comes to the Indo-Pacific, there is very much agreement, the Quad remains active, and that it's moving forward in new areas. And I think as well as the US's Indo-Pacific economic framework, it's interesting to see that it seems likely that there's going to be agreement on a new mechanism for tracking illegal fishing in the region as well. So some new areas that the Quad is moving into.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.